Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's DJ Sketch, and welcome back to the channel. We got a few things we're going to run over in this video today, and let me get my notes pulled back up. There we go. So we're going to talk about a few things today, a couple things. I guess we got about 5 topics on my little list here that we're going to expand on as we go through the video. Also, enjoy this double strike team gameplay in the background. This is probably the best gameplay I've ever gotten in Black Ops 4. So there you go. And first, what I want to get on is what's actually starting today as of February 11th. Modern Warfare Season 2 is officially live as of now. And the question is, what do you get with this? So based on what I've seen with the quote fingers leaks that have been coming through the internet the last few days now, or more so the last week, there's actually finally some new maps, quote fingers again. I guess you're going to have Rust. I guess that's actually going to be back in the game, even though it's a Modern Warfare 2 map, which I'm sure that means Terminal is not far behind. And there's another one called Atlas Superstore, which looks like a Walmart, which is basically going to be a warehouse type level. Probably, I would assume, probably like Shoot House, but bigger. I haven't tried any of these yet because I uninstalled Modern Warfare about 2 months ago. And also you have another one coming in called Zokov Boneyard, which is going to be a ground war map. And Gunfight's getting a couple more maps. The Operator Ghost is back, even though, again, that's a Modern Warfare 2 character, but who's counting? And you got a couple more weapons coming into the equation. I guess the UMP-45 is back, and also they're saying with this Charlie Intel article that the Striker is going to be back too. So more things that are probably going to be overpowered. But also, a funny thing I saw when looking at one of Thunder's tweets on Twitter today. Apparently, they're going to be able to link Kill Chain and Hardline, since I guess they did a little bit of quote fingers perk balancing. So the corner campers have even more reason to camp now that they can actually use score based streaks instead of kill streaks, and then get them for cheaper. So good job, Activision. I'm glad to see that you guys are making improvements to your title here. But yeah, I'll check that out whenever that becomes necessary. But otherwise, I'm gonna stay right here on Black Ops 4 and call it Granddad. But in other Activision Blizzard news, so like we talked about last week with Modern Warfare, I got this on the brain now, don't I? Warcraft 3 Reforged, I meant to say. So this one, they're actually now giving instant refunds after the massive backlash of dissatisfied customers that wanted to have a better product. And now there's no more debates, no more people getting banned for it. Like, if you ask for a refund, you get your refund, hopefully within just a matter of hours, if not minutes. So that's one thing I can kind of say they've done right, but also that the damage is already done with putting out a product that was not ready to see the shelves yet. That's just the bottom line, and they're having to pay for it, man. They're having to hold that L on this one. And so we're going to get back to, actually no, since we're already on the subject of games, like before we get to the other stuff, also BioWare has actually finally announced that they are officially beginning the reworking of Anthem. And I mean, that game, it was already like, it was busted from the start. I mean, I was able to have a little bit of fun with it, but once it was over, like, there was really nothing to do. The Cataclysm event was a disaster. Like, nobody cared about that. And the player base dropped on that almost instantly as soon as most people finished the campaign, if they even cared to play that far into it. So the fact that they're reworking this now, literally a year later, I mean, that's good. They want to try to keep it going. But at the same time, is this going to detract from the efforts that are going into Dragon Age? I believe it's going to be Dragon Age 4, this newest one that's coming out, which they still haven't yet announced. But, I mean, that's good. They want to rework it, but to what effect? I guess we'll see. Because we'll see how long it takes, because I know if it's more than a few months, like, actually, considering they put the whole game together in a year and a half, I guess another year and a half is enough time to rework it too, huh? But I guess, well, we'll see what they have cooking up in the studio over there. I mean, if it's really worth checking out again, I'll check it out. I mean, that was in the uninstall pile, and it's been there for quite a while, so if there's a reason to give that another shot, I mean, I'll try it, I guess. I'll give it a try. So, now we're going to get into some stuff, and maybe it's like a little bit, actually, this isn't so lighthearted either. So, I randomly, not randomly, but most recently came across this thing, TikTok. Like, I don't use it, but I've been hearing more and more about this, and also I saw a few challenges that, like, here's the problem with TikTok, before I get into what these challenges are. Like, the main problem with this is that, well, one, it's super cringy. That's the main thing. But the second one is like TikTok is primarily used by children and people under the age of 18. I mean, you'll find adults on there sometimes, but those are probably even weirder as far as content is concerned. So with this, like the one thing one of the several things I saw that caught my attention, I saw like 5 challenges that were considered extremely dangerous, and that's because they are. People taking iPhone or various phone chargers, especially the brick ones, putting them in sockets not quite all the way, and then putting various change behind it, literally like almost starting fires. Like, again, like why this is called a challenge, like challenge to burn your house down. Smart, real smart. We got some real jokers over there at TikTok, but that one by comparison is not as bad as the change your eye color challenge, which is another one. Like, the fact that people believe this shit is honestly it's baffling. So there was a challenge that went around on this app, which again, I don't know why like there aren't better policies to keep this kind of stuff off the platform, considering it is highly dangerous. And this change your eye color one, I guess there was a couple variants of it, but the one that I saw, homeboy literally like puts a bunch of bleach up to his eyeball and said like, oh look, my eye color changed. But then it goes back to like a day later, his eyes are completely bloodshot because your eyes have been exposed to bleach fumes. So just like the fact that like there's the chance that many other impressionable members of the audience may have tried to reenact that too is also that's very concerning, to say the least. Very concerning. And TikTok, y'all gotta do something different with your influencers or whatever you want to call the people that put up videos on that site. Y'all gotta do a little bit more terms and service balancing as far as that is concerned. And the last thing we're gonna touch on today, like this is just in time for Black History Month. Like this one, I was honestly amazed by when I heard it. I had to like double check to make sure this is actually true, and unfortunately it is. So Barnes and Noble, in honor of Black History Month, at least as they see it, they took a lot of classics, very well-known classics, like such as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Frankenstein. Those are the first two that I remember. Oh, Moby Dick. That was this is also a particularly interesting one, and many others. And they took the covers, like I don't know who they commissioned to do this, but they literally replaced all of the characters with African American characters. And this is seen as a very, very lazy way to go about trying to honor Black History Month as well as black authors, considering that you should have just highlighted books by black authors. That would have made a whole lot more sense than literally, at least as a lot of other authors have described it now, putting out literary blackface on various classic books that have little to nothing to do. Secret Garden, that was the other one I was trying to think of. Like also like on top of that, like also like rebranding characters, at least just for the cover's sake anyway. They actually had a lot to do with very racist times in the early U.S. history. So Barnes and Noble, honestly, I'm kind of glad like most of those stores don't exist in my town anymore, except for a college bookstore. But Barnes and Noble, yeah, y'all seriously dropped the ball on that one, dude. Like, if you guys could make that right, or maybe since like the month is only halfway over, I mean that's kind of convenient. You guys picked the shortest month to have Black History Month. Ain't that a coincidence? If you want to try to turn that around, maybe highlight some black authors. That might be the smart thing. Might make people a little less angry too. And I know we kind of went all over the place with this one today, guys. But yeah, I just wanted to get this gameplay out there. And got a couple reviews coming up later on in the week. Hopefully, it's going to be kind of a busy one. But if I can get them done, I'll get them done and get them over to you. But until next time, I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy.